So I just want to say welcome everyone to my channel. This is Seren's Readings and I'm a spiritualist medium, but like many of you, I also love tarot cards and tarot readings. You may be wondering, what are these ribbons doing here? Ribbon reading is hundreds of years old. It's a very old practice, and it's kind of along the lines of psychometry, which is reading objects. You could say cards is along those lines too. So anyway, these are your choices for today. We have for pile 1, we have this beautiful Four of Swords and this wonderful purple ribbon. For pile 2, we have the High Priestess. Hope you can see that okay. And you have this gorgeous yellow ribbon, which I'll use in your reading. And for pile number 3, have the Page of Wands. Another wonderful card there. And you have this gorgeous green ribbon. I hope you can see the colours, as it looks quite mint green on the screen, but it's a little bit deeper. So there are your wonderful choices, and you can pause the video and take a bit of time to decide and just go for which card that you feel the most drawn to, and I will see you in your reading. I also forgot to add, if you look down into the description, you'll find the timestamps. Okay, welcome pile number 1, and I hope you're having a great day today. I'm here in the not so sunny Wales. It's raining, and you'll probably be able to hear that pitter-pattering on the roof there, but it's just such a beautiful place where I am, in the middle of the nowhere in the countryside. Hopefully you can see the cards okay as I lay them out. I may have to zoom out a bit, but that's fine. So we have the Four of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Hierophant. Wonderful. I'm just going to move the ribbon because I don't want that squiffing your card, so we're just going to put that over to the side a minute. Let's just straighten these back out. Okay, push that up on this one. Make sure you're still in shot. Okay, the Four of Cups. Slightly overlap that there so you can see it still. We have, wonderful Star. The Knight of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands again, so we have 2 Eight of Wands there. And we have the Hierophant again. I'm just going to move these up slightly just so I can squeeze that in. Sorry, candle. Right, let's just move it up a little bit. I want to keep that all in shot. There we go. Can we see all of those? Perfect. There we go. Squeeze that on the end there. So as a medium, and psychometry being one of my favourite things, where I tune into the energies or messages or voices or images that come through, I don't always focus on the literal meaning of the card. So I say to anyone who's new to tarot reading or ribbon reading, anything like that, is sometimes when you're focusing too much on the literal meaning, you're not focusing on the images you're getting. So I'll go over each card with their literal kind of meaning in tarot, and then I'll tune in to each card and just go with whatever images or feelings, even senses that you can get. So enough of me waffling, let's get on to your reading. So the Four of Swords, that's about rest and recuperation and reflection. And then we go on to the Eight of Wands, which is swift movement and, again, communication, but it's action. It's an action card. There could be messages coming back and forth from somewhere or someone, whether that's email or text message or, like an important letter or something. And then we go on to the Knight of Swords. And that's pretty much quick action as well. So we've got all this quick action on these cards here. So Knight of Swords, quick action, and he's ambitious, and that's drive, that's the kind of energy. Look how he's standing there with confidence and with the sword ready to go. And right next to that, you have, perfect match, Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is sharp intellect and intelligence, and again it's communication, and it's a clear communication she comes in with, this clear energy there. We have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is spiritual guidance, a teacher or a mentor. I mean, that could be you, that could be someone else. We'll get into that more as we go along. And then we have the Four of Cups, and that's all about feeling, a bit stuck or a bit stressed, and maybe you're not seeing the opportunities that are around you at the moment. Then we go on to one of my favorite cards, is the Star card, and that brings hope and renewal and spiritual, clarity and faith, and just you can see her pouring in and filling up with the new and nourishing. Then we go on to the Knight of Pentacles, and you see him sitting confidently there on his horse. So this is strong, and this is dependable, and this is long term. So that's bringing that energy into the reading. And here again you have, so this is obviously something that is very important, because you have the Eight of Wands twice. So, again, swift movement and communication and action is needed or coming in. And interestingly, again, right underneath, you have the Hierophant. So I'm using two tarot decks here, and I'll put the link for those below at the end. So that's really interesting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tune in to each card and the ribbon at the end, and just go with what I pick up and what I see and what images. Okay, here we have the beautiful Four of Wands, and it's definitely, facing each other. It's almost like there's a group of people deciding, it's more than one person standing there deciding. And I'm seeing the sea, and I'm seeing a rocky sea. So I don't know if it's been quite a turbulent, rocky time for you at the moment, but I'm seeing a boat now, as I mentioned, that on top of the sea, and it's almost like these here are kind of colourful, beautiful waves. So within that turbulence and that indecision, which I'm feeling with this card, although it is rest and recuperation and reflection, within that time and that space, I'm feeling with this that there's a bit of decisions to be made. So I'm seeing question marks. I'm visually seeing a question mark over the top of this card as well. So this could be a group decision, or this could just be you have many decisions to make while you're in this space. And I'm seeing you standing at a bridge. So often when I see a bridge, it's kind of at the precipice of something. That sounds like a swear word, doesn't it? I'm sure I'm pronouncing it correctly, but you're at the edge of something and a decision, and there's something you need to cross over to get to the other side, and you're kind of standing there and you're waiting, and you're not sure, you know, there's this hesitation. Let's get the next one, the Eight of Wands. As I'm looking in here, there's beautiful, beautiful butterflies, and those look like almost like hummingbirds to me. But this is a card of, you know, swift movement and communication, and it is an action card as well to me, you know, swift action, and so it's going from this standing on the edge to movement. So let me just focus in a bit more now, and I'm being drawn to the butterflies, and butterflies to me are, you know, hope and a renewal and new opportunities coming in. Again, we have these beautiful swirls, which are throughout this deck, but I'm just being particularly drawn in. So you could be receiving like a message via email or letter, or someone calling you, but there is something important coming in about these new ventures, if you like, new opportunities, new doorways, that will be opening up a new path and getting you over that bridge, which I see you standing at, as I was looking at the Four of Swords. So this could be, you know, obviously it's a general reading, it could be related to a moving a house, or a new job, or, you know, it could be a whole multitude of these issues going on. It could also be a relationship, and finances too. I mean, we all have multiple things going on, but I am seeing a house in the distance on a hill as I'm talking. So for me, this does feel like very much moving somewhere. This movement, there's a new place on the horizon that I can see there over on a hill. Okay, let's go into the Knight of Swords. Beautiful. This, as I'm looking at him, is just strength. This is just courage and strength, and, you know, again, quick action there with the sword. We're cutting through anything that is standing in the way, and this could be yourself, it could be a partner. They don't necessarily have to be male, but it's bringing in this strong male energy. It could be that you need to encompass this strength, you know, go from this place of waiting and stopping at the edge to, right, maybe we have the get-go here, we have the messages of we can move forward here. Or this could be a literal person. I'm feeling more of a person coming in, to be honest. It could be a brother, it could be a husband, it could be a father figure, it could be, you know, a male friend, but I'm definitely feeling it's another person rather than your own energies, and they're going to kind of get the kick that's needed and that strength that's needed to get you going, and to move you to that place that I was seeing in the future, this house or this home or this move or this new job, whatever it is, it's definitely somewhere else, and it's a new venture. This is not something old. Okay, we go into the beautiful Queen of Swords, and again, paired nicely with the Knight of Swords. This is confidence, this is clear communication, this is she cuts through everything. She takes no prisoners, but at the same time she has got that loving, motherly aspect to her. And let me tune in on her and see what I'm seeing. I'm being drawn to her crown very much. So I'm feeling that it could be someone around you with this energy, but I'm feeling very much this is the person in question in the reading. So I feel that this is you, that you need to be encompassing this energy. You need to be putting your crown on. You need to be getting into your Queen of Swords energy. Okay, this isn't a time to sit back on your laurels, is the saying, or, you know, sit back in a space of indecisiveness or worry or anything like that, which I was picking up on that card. This is action, okay? This is get yourself up, get yourself ready, get yourself prepared, you know, no longer stopping in this cloud of, self-pity is the wrong word, but sometimes we can imprison ourselves in this cage of worry, can't we? And it just stops us from moving forward. So this is you. This is the energy that needs to be, the cards are saying, taken on. You need to step into this person because she's there. She is you. I mean, you can be male. We all have male and female energies, but she's definitely a go-getter type energy. So that's what I'm seeing there. Okay. We're going to the Hierophant. And obviously, again, we went over the literal meaning, but I'm just going to tune into what I see. Okay. You see that? Okay. Right. Obviously, we can see the books there, but I'm also seeing like scrolls. So for me, this is knowledge that I'm seeing. This is something coming in. So again, this could be a letter or an email or a phone call, but it's something very important. There's lots of things that need to be put in place, but they show me these scrolls, and for me that's important documents. They don't have to just be religious or anything like this. Could be contracts, you know, like on a new house or a new business, or even if it's a marriage or something along those lines, or you're thinking of moving in with someone and maybe you're not married, but you're going to be buying a place together or renting a place together, and you need to make sure everything's done properly, you know, and everything's in place. So, you know, make sure is it dotting the I's and crossing the T's? Make sure all that's done. You know, look over everything carefully. You know, don't rush signing anything. It's not like a warning in any negative way whatsoever. It's just wanting you to look into everything, research everything. And if there's something in a contract or something you're unsure of, you know, just educate yourself by researching or talking to someone that's knowledgeable. That's what I'm seeing there. Again, could be you know, work related, new contract, new home, you know, new partnership of some sort that I'm seeing there. Okay, and we're going on to back here. Okay, and it's kind of just focusing here. She's focusing on this empty cup, you know, and this stuck kind of phase again, and this indecisiveness. But I feel that if you are and perhaps feeling overwhelmed, you know, and sometimes when we're feeling overwhelmed, we can't actually see all these other blessings around us and these other opportunities that are quite full of, whether that's, you know, abundance or knowledge or love or, you know, new friendships or new partner. You know, we kind of can become our own self-sabotager, if you like. So this is just wanting you to focus on how intelligent you are and how you are able to research and look things up and find out that information that perhaps that you don't feel as confident on. Or, you know, knowledge is power, and if you do research and you do look into it and dot your I's and cross the T's, it's going to feel less overwhelming. And when you can take away that overwhelming feeling, that lightens you up and it allows you to see all of these, you know, other opportunities, or to get that one thing out of the way you've been putting off. You know, we all do it. We're all guilty of doing that. Will allow you to move forward. So there could be like little pauses and little hiccups along the way. And, you know, this is part of life, you know, but I don't want you to focus on those hiccups or those pauses. You know, look at solutions rather than like the problem is what I'm feeling here as well. And that will really help you with this, whatever that is: home, partnerships, relationships, new journeys. And the beautiful, as I said, one of my favorites, the Star card. And this is giving you that, hope and renewal and blessings and fresh starts and promise, and perhaps where you felt a bit this card is about recuperation and pausing as well, but I was feeling kind of more burnt out sensation with this one, and indecisiveness. So here it's filling up your cup, it's nourishing your soul. And the stars here, the beautiful stars, there's so many hopeful up and coming events and positive outcomes, from putting in that hard work and seeking that knowledge, and focusing on the good things around you, not just things that aren't going right. And it all takes practice, doesn't it? So it is a learning curve. So let me focus here. Yeah, I'm very much getting life it ebbs and flows, doesn't it? So sometimes it's up and it's fantastic, sometimes it's down a bit and it's not, but that is life. And I think what it's saying here is take that with the highs, take the lows, but try and take them in your stride, and always nourish yourself. Don't get into this stuck place of perhaps a bit of self-neglect. For some of you could be coming into play because you're just so focused and bogged down in that situation there. So nourish yourself, take care of yourself. So that could be eating healthy or making sure you're eating. Some of you may not be eating enough or drinking enough water. So I'm also getting that, take care of yourselves, whether that's physically or your mental health, I'm very being drawn into her head there, the beautiful star, the headpiece, meditate or exercise, do things that are going to make it easier to deal with those ebbs and flows, and if you need to reach out and you need a bit of help and you need to talk to someone, always, do so. That could be services in the local community. It could be not sponsored, but I have used them. BetterHelp, the online counselling service. There's lots of discounts that you can get. There's Louis Capaldi's doing a discount code, so if you look him up through BetterHelp, you could get free counselling for 4 weeks, or reaching out to friends, the support network or family. Don't do it alone. But here it's feeling like nourish, and lots of nourishment into also your projects, and you're putting in the hard work, but also you need to look after you, okay? You need to look after number one there. Let me see what else I pick up before I put her down. I'm seeing a car. So I'm seeing some travel here. But they're also showing me the car with the tyre off, which is quite specific, isn't it? So it might relate to some of you. So it's like, we all know what it's like, hiccup in the car, then we can't get to where we need to be, and it's like, it messes up your plans, and it's like, what else can I do? But rather than, this could just be symbolic of what they're trying to say. It could be literal for some of you. Don't give up. Don't give up at that hurdle. Don't let these things put you off from reaching where you need to be, whether it's work or, visiting someone or traveling somewhere, Get that sorted. It's not insurmountable. If you have to break it down into small steps, or you have to ask for help to get to where you need to be, or find an alternative, they're kind of saying don't give up, keep pushing forward and keep nourishing the ideas and putting that energy in. Don't give up is what I'm getting here quite a lot. And you are the star. You are the beautiful star. Yeah, I'm quite in awe of this card. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And again, this is long-term strength and determination. So, and dependable. So this could be, as we were saying about reaching out for help, this could be saying, you know, if you reach out, there are going to be people that will help around you. This could be a partner, this could be a family member, it could be a friend, you know. But they're very dependable and long-term as well. If you reach out, that's going to benefit in so many ways, isn't it? You know, to your projects or your moving or your relationship. For some of you, for example, if it was you're having a rough time in your relationship, it could be relationship counselling, you know, marriage counselling, or yeah. So this could be as well. Sorry, I'm just looking at how beautiful this horse is and how confident the horse is standing there. So some of this is what I could feel is you. They want you to, again, with the Queen of Swords, embrace that energy, embrace that confidence, and be proud of yourself as well, and reward yourself for all these different steps on your journey. But this feels like a person that's coming in. It definitely feels like a male figure, but again, it could be female, but with particularly a lot of male energy, but it's strength, and someone that you can rely on, and someone that you can depend on, or a group that you can rely on. And here they're bringing this golden coin here with the pentagram on. So they're bringing that help. They're bringing that, whether it's financial or, you know, just emotional support or physically fixing that tire on your car. They are coming in. Yeah, so that's fabulous to see. You're going to have that. And I'm quite drawn into this green. I don't know if that's a scarf or the horse's saddle. But that's beautiful that you've got that energy coming in. So it's kind of like, don't worry, you will have that support network around you. And if you haven't asked and you haven't reached out, then definitely be getting on with that and doing that. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We're all helping each other home. You know, we all are interconnected. We can't survive on our own. Even if you're like me, like a hermit, we all need people and other humans in life, and animals, our beloved animals, obviously. Okay, and again, we have the Eight of Wands. This is swift action. So I feel that, again, messages coming in, and this is good news coming in, positive, you know, and about you putting out the feelers, if you like, and those messages, you know. So how are people going to know if you need this help or with something? Some people love to help other people. Some people, you know, they want to give back in some way. You're helping them by letting them help, you know, and I love to help people, but I know for myself personally, I find it difficult to ask for help. So I can completely relate to these cards, but yeah, to reach out, you know, not to be embarrassed, not to fear, you know, someone's answer. What's the worst they can say? No. And that's absolutely fine. But I feel in this case, it's going to be messages coming in and there's going to be help. So again, I'm seeing work-wise, my hands kind of heating up as I'm talking about this. So there's lots and lots of movement. So I'm feeling work-wise for some of you as well. There's, you know, positive coming back about a job. But also keep pushing forward. If it's CVs, keep pushing forward. Don't give up is what I'm getting here. Keep pushing, okay? Yeah, so for some of you, it could be good news about a good job coming in. You know, maybe you didn't get the other ones, but that's fine because something better's coming in. So you'll be able to make that move to that new home or get your car sorted or, you know, all that kind of thing. But that's what I'm seeing here. Let me just focus a little bit more. I'm seeing the sentence, nothing is insurmountable. It may feel like it at the time, but nothing is. Nothing is permanent. You know, it's temporary, whether that's places where we live, or meeting new friendships or relationships. If you move somewhere else, you may feel a bit stuck at the moment in a certain situation, like you're never going to get out of it. But this is definitely energy moving forward, messages moving forward, and you moving forward, more importantly. Okay, and we have the Hierophant again. Okay, let me just focus on this one, because this is obviously the same card, but with each image I can get a different feeling or different energy. So I'm just going to focus in. And I've been drawn to the keys here on his chest. So doors are definitely going to be open for you. Okay, and I'm seeing a house. So I am feeling very strongly, for many, it is a new move, okay, and being given the keys. But again, it could apply to job, getting a new job. Maybe all of it. Maybe some of you, it's new job, new home, new relationships, new friendships. It could be the whole shebang. But when they give you the key, for me, that is such a positive sign. Okay, because it's opening new doorways, and it's not just one key, there's 2 keys there, so there's several doorways. Okay, let me focus in again. And as I'm staring, the card is kind of, this red is kind of exuberating, it's kind of coming out the card as I'm looking. So for me, this is kind of passion, and getting your passion back for life again. Maybe some of you need to your base chakra, which is like it's red. Maybe some of you, that's firing up again. Maybe some of you feel like you lost your mojo, where you've been so stuck in kind of certain feelings and certain places or relationships. Okay, so this is, I am seeing the word mojo. So for a lot of you, I feel that that's coming back, and your energy is coming back. Some of you may have been suffering from fatigue or insomnia, but I feel that when all these other things fall into place and happen, and then you've got your support and these positive messages coming in, these positive doors opening for you, you are going to be feeling that mojo coming back, your confidence coming back. I feel for a lot of you that you have lost a lot of your confidence and self-esteem. And again, I just want to say to anyone that that's also a temporary thing, and we go through different stages in our life, and sometimes it does knock the wind out of you, so to speak, and your confidence with it, especially if it's been a difficult time. But I see that coming back, and behind him I'm being drawn into this beautiful, beautiful yellow. So it's like the sun is rising again for you, and the happiness, yellow for me is happiness, and that is your, what are we on? Solar plexus. There's bright, beautiful yellow there, gold. So again, I feel your solar plexus could be kind of unblocking and the energy flowing there. Maybe some of you have been dealing with kind of that area. I know with your heart area as well, if you have anxiety or panic attacks and stuff like that. Again, I can relate to that. It's kind of a cleansing and a clearing of that area, and it's letting go of those anxieties and those worries that I feel a lot of you have been carrying, through all of this stuff that you're possibly going through with home, relationship, work, obviously general reading, so they often give me many different areas. And again, maybe you'll be going through the whole lot, which is even more difficult. But this is hope, and this is promise, and I can feel my solar plexus and my heart chakra kind of activating and opening up as we're speaking about this. And I'm quite excited when I'm speaking, and almost a little bit breathless because I'm speaking too fast. But that's because it's like the energy is fast and it's swift, and it's kind of going from 0 to hero, if you like, but in a positive way. It's not to say there's not going to be little hiccups on the way, or that you're not going to have little things to deal with, okay? But if you put your tools in place, your support network in place, you've got this, and you can get through this, okay? Now let's hold on to your ribbon and see what energy I'm picking up from this and messages. It's beautiful. It looks lighter, as I said, on the camera, but it's because of the light, but it is like a deeper deeper, beautiful purple. And purple is a very, very healing colour, very spiritual colour. It might be worth some of you getting some amethyst, a beautiful piece of amethyst, especially if you're just getting into your spiritual work. I found that quite helpful. I haven't used amethyst for a long time. When I first started, I found amethyst quite beneficial. I'm being shown the third eye and my forehead and that area there, so that could help open up your third eye for you. For any of you that maybe you don't want to practice spiritual practices as such as even giving readings, but maybe meditation that can kind of help clear your mind, help you focus. You could hold on to a piece of amethyst. I'm also seeing a purple beautiful light, and this beautiful purple, like firelight, if you like, if you focus on that when you're meditating, that can help to clear away, imagine yourself being submerged in this beautiful purple light, and that can clear away any kind of residue that's left over, perhaps some past things, and help you further to kind of clear those chakras and kind of activate that your mojo coming back in again. But this is beautiful, and this is serene for me. I'm seeing like lush green meadows, so pastures new, okay, will be coming in. New beginnings and pastures new. A new you almost. Some of you might be going on a health kick or thinking about it, but it feels like a rebirth and a new you, okay? Now, pile number 1, that's your reading, and I want to leave you with so much love and blessings for the future, and I'm really excited about these new adventures and things going on for you. So please leave a comment at the bottom and let us know what positive things are going on in your life. So much love, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, beautiful pile number 2. Okay, let's get started and placing your cards out that you chose. The High Priestess. Next we have Justice. The 5 of Wands. The Devil card. 9 of Cups. And 6 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel, and the Strength card. I hope you've all had a great day today, and if you haven't, I'm sending you lots of love over. We have the 6 of Pentacles, and to finish with, we have the King of Swords. Okay. So I just want to say, as I said, for the other 2 piles, pile 1 and pile 2, we have your beautiful ribbon here. At the end, I'll do your short ribbon reading. And it goes back to hundreds of years, ribbon reading. So if you haven't heard of it, have a Google. I'll do the basic readings of the card. But again, I advise if you're a medium or someone who's trying to learn tarot cards, it is good to know the basic meaning, but also sometimes that can shut down like the visions or images or the flow of the reading or the feelings, and so don't just go with like the literal sense. All right, so we'll just cover the literal sense, and then I'll tune into each card and see what visions I see, or words I see, feelings I see. Okay, so let's get on with your reading with the High Priestess. So intuition, inner intuition and wisdom and, divine feminine energy and gateways to hidden spiritual knowledge. Then we go into the Justice card, and it's fairness, truth, accountability, cause and effect and balance and looking clearly at the situation, actions, consequences, that kind of thing. Then we go on to the 5 of Wands, And that's conflict and competition, usually ego-driven, struggles or rivalry and tension between people, lack of harmony and lack of clarity and obstacles. Then we go on to the Devil card. And here we have like a self-imposed limitations or materialism or temptation. Sometimes it can be connected with sort of addictions, but we're not always looking at just that side of things. So don't start worrying about that. It can often mean a clearing out of all of those kinds of things. In a positive new beginning. So don't worry. And we go into the Nine of Cups, and that's about the fulfillment. A wish, contentment. Emotional satisfaction. It's like a wish card and deep gratitude in life, contentment. Then we go into the Six of Wands. Can you see that there? Six of Wands. And that's like victory, success and public recognition and overcoming challenges and celebrating your hard work and connected in with like strong leadership as well. We go into the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana card, and that's destiny and cycles and good fortune and turning points and new opportunities, fate and acceptance as well. We go into the Strength card, courage and overcoming challenges, trusting one's own instinct and the power of our own instinct and our own resilience in the face of difficulty and kind of mastering that strength that we have. Six of Pentacles, so generosity and give and take, give and receive and balance of that, and financial security and abundance. So that's a fantastic card to have there. And then last but not least, can you see that okay? We have the King of Swords. So he's very logic, that energy is very logic and sound judgment and decision making, and very much a truth card, a powerful leadership energy, a rational approach, an intelligence card. So that's also a fabulous one. I'm just going to move it up a tiny teeny bit. Make sure we're all okay in the shot. Excuse me, I've got a slight cold. I'm in beautiful Wales and it's been raining quite heavily, but I love rain. I'm one of those strange people that love rain, and I'm by a big oak tree, or many oak trees, but this particular spot, so you might hear like acorns drop in, so I apologise in advance. Any scratches on my hand? I've got 2 kitty cats, so sometimes I do trim their nails, they do let me, but sometimes it kind of cute little scratch there, so I apologise about those. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's get into your card and see what I actually pick up on as I tune in. And instantly, being drawn straight into, sort of the heart center. And also here we have, it's more in the heart center, but I'd also say the solar plexus as well. And this feels, when it talks about, divine, feminine, and gateway to your hidden spiritual kind of truths and knowledge. So I feel this pile is, not to say the other piles weren't extremely spiritual, but this card, I feel that, as you can see, she's sitting there meditating. If you don't already meditate, it's a good practice to start, because it really does. Even if you find it difficult to begin with, it could just be listening quietly to some relaxing music with some incense, candles burning and lovely aromatherapy smells. It doesn't have to be in a deep sense of sitting there for hours meditating. Don't worry about that. So I'm feeling this sense of, calmness and breathing and perhaps some breath work, which I wasn't big into before, but I've actually started to do a lot of that, and it's really helped. So for some of you, it may be, opening up these chakras and really getting into your spiritual self and allowing that spiritual knowledge to come in, spiritual messages to come in, making sure your channel is clear, because we are like receptors and channels. So this isn't going to fit for everyone. It just may mean you need to bring more Zen into your life and your daily practices, whether it's popping off out the office for 10 minutes and just going and having a really quiet, peaceful break and just closing your eyes and breathing and feeling kind of maybe the earth beneath your feet if you live in quite an urban area. So find yourself a patch of nature and grass. But if this isn't already you, as this Zen, beautiful, meditating high priestess, then it's suggesting that this energy is to be, oh my god, I can't speak today, into your life. And we saw these beautiful colours around her aura, and that kind of feels like you. It almost looks like an eye as well, doesn't it? The all-seeing eye. And I'm being given the word universe. So definitely tap into that universal energy. That energy is everywhere. Let me see what else that I see. I'm seeing the word sanctuary. So if you haven't already, a place to go and a sanctuary, and where you can be peaceful, it's suggesting that you find a location or create a location. It could also be, I'm seeing the word community, so it could, it doesn't necessarily mean at home. It could be you go and join a meditation group, or it could be that you join a drumming circle or spiritual group, or most of them are quite reasonably priced, aren't they, in the UK? So you could go along to your local spiritualist church and have some healing, or they may have a meditation group that you can join at a reasonable price. It doesn't have to be like these big, expensive, you see them for thousands of dollars in like Bali, is it? Or somewhere like that. It doesn't have to be that, because it is within all of us, so we can create that anywhere, really. You even hear about sort of monks and people being imprisoned. I'm not suggesting that at all it's going to happen. It's not. I'm just saying that even they would meditate in there, and find peace. So it doesn't have to be pricey. You can create your own or join inexpensive groups in your community. But I'm feeling very much you are a goddess. You are, if you don't already know it, you are very spiritual. You could perhaps also get into teaching if you haven't already. I do see that in your future, and that spirituality can come through in healing, and spiritual knowledge can be filtered in many ways in our roles in life without even realizing, whether that's kind words or insights to help others to move to where they need to be, But you've definitely got this Zen feeling about you, whether you know it or not. Okay. Let's have a look at the Justice card here. I think with you, this is talking about you. I mean, there could be something, against a general reading coming up that you're dealing with that hasn't been very fair. But I'm just zoning in on the fact of what's coming through, that truth is very important to you. Living authentically and living within your truth is extremely important to you. And you set the standard. If you haven't already set the standard, you will be. That's what I'm getting here. Often people like that can be people who are on the spectrum, who are truth bearers. We can't, as myself on the spectrum, I find it difficult to not be honest, and I actually get quite disappointed when other people aren't authentic and they're not truthful. I can't stand that. I can get quite, so I'm quite an emotional being. I can recognize myself in this. So for many of you, I can see you part of that kind of indigo children. They may have called them, or crystal children, they may have called them, but now, many people diagnosed as ADHD and autism and on the spectrum kind of come under that umbrella. A lot of people kind of faff that off, indigo, if you speak to certain people, but there's definitely a correlation, and I'm sure if they did it, I'm sure there's studies, but I'm sure if there's a scientific study, you could see that those original people that they would call indigo and crystal children are those that are on the spectrum. They can come kind of hand in hand, So for you, balance is very important. Balance, fairness, truth, justice. You could find yourself, if not already, working in roles within law, but definitely within community and helping other people to bring balance into their life and justice. I can definitely see that there's such a strong figure. Even if someone's, as we see here, is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, you see straight through it. There's no you not knowing, already. You can walk into a room and you'd know, you're that kind of spiritual person, evolved person, okay? And you can see the beautiful colourful feathers in the background that I'm being drawn into. So I'm just going to zone into those. Oh God, at the back I hadn't even noticed. I was going to say you're kind of like an earth angel, and then I've noticed these. Suddenly, I hadn't noticed them at first. They are huge, beautiful angel wings, aren't they? But that's how a lot of people see you. But unfortunately, because you are that all-knowing, all-seeing through the crap, if you like, spiritual person, you're going to be probably an empath. You're going to sometimes upset people and you don't even know why they've not taken a liking to you, but you are also like a mirror to them. It shines back. It kind of highlights their inadequacies or their own self-imposed inadequacies, if you like. Doesn't mean that they literally are that. It could just be that their self-esteem is so low that then they perhaps bully others or pull others down, but they almost can't handle your light, if you like, so they could instantly take a dislike to you, even though you're kind of this caring, loving person. Doesn't mean you take any crap, because you don't. There's still an awful lot of strength there. But in this justice card, I'm seeing, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to navigate these people in life, but you have so much strength, and there are so many other wonderful, loving people who will want to be your friend, who are your friends around you for support. And for those of you that perhaps a bit like me, a bit like a hermit, tends to keep herself to herself because of, you kind of avoid these people, although I've pushed myself out more lately. This is encouraging that, to come out of your comfort zone and to shine, because while you're hiding yourself away, you're not giving the opportunity to show others the way, especially if you could be mentoring, leading in some way, whether that's groups or through your job, or don't hide yourself away. You have so much sparkle and joy to bring. Forget those who might have an issue because they have their own issues. Forget, send them love, send them light. Don't let them stop you from being like your fabulous self. But I love that you're like a truth bearer there. Okay, let's go into the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands, okay, yeah, that kind of links onto what I'm talking about, conflict, that not comes from yourself. I don't think this is you in any way. It's someone that would create the conflict. This feels like it's competition from others that kind of create these struggles. So that definitely links into what I was saying. Yeah, it could be in a workplace. You could be, for some of you, could be finding it quite difficult. You know, there's a lot of competition. Not that you're there to compete with anyone, not that you're there to step on anyone's toes. You're just being your fabulous self. But people see that and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that you shine so bright, you know, and you're all the things that they could be, you know, if they wasn't so negative in their way of thinking, you know. They could be, well, no, they probably couldn't because you're much more evolved. But yeah, and that can really put us off, can't it? From jobs, from you wanting to go into work, or social situations. It could be that you're part of a group, or you're going out with your boyfriend and his friends' girlfriends, and you may experience it there. Or you could be a male and you could be experiencing some competition within the office too. It doesn't necessarily. And I'm feeling more female person energy, but you know, it could be male or female, or male with we have male and female energies, male with a more female nurturing energy. Yeah, and you may be a softer soul and they're just kind of walking or trying to walk all over you, but they don't actually realise that you're an incredibly strong person. So let me tune in a bit more to this card and to the image. I'm seeing someone like in cabaret clothes, you know, dancing. So I don't know if some of you are very creative and performers, or there's this hidden side of you. But your creativity is very powerful, also in your spiritual practices. But yeah, it's like putting on a show and wanting you, again, to just be your fabulous, amazing self. No matter what challenges come up, no matter what people try and do to stop that, you know. Don't be afraid to speak up if you need to go to someone, whether that's a manager or HR team. Don't let others strip away your joy, you know. And it may not work for you in that situation. You may have to move on. But if enough people come forward, which is the truth, that may help someone else in the future to be able to stay in that position. You know, no one should be allowed to get away with bullying. So if any of you are going through those kinds of situations, if you're at college or school, even if you're younger and you're watching this, remain your fabulous self. Don't let them dim that light. Stand up, say what's true, speak your truth. Never be afraid to speak your truth, okay? Whatever it is or whatever happens is just a temporary situation. It's not permanent. It's not your whole life. I'm seeing the ocean, and the words, the dip in the ocean. It's just a dip in the ocean, okay? It's just tomorrow's chip paper. And let those words or those actions it just goes to show how fabulous you are if people feel the need to do that. Okay, so whatever your circumstance, your situation, they want you to walk within love and light, integrity, continue to do so, and continue to be blooming fabulous, okay? I'm getting that so strongly in this group. Some of you may be older, you just may have a younger energy, but I'm definitely getting a younger energy with this reading here. Okay, let's go on to the Devil card. I'm just seeing the sentence: better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And some people may be saying that to you, you know, but I feel like that sentence is kind of holds you back, doesn't it, with that way of thinking. Well, you know, I may as well put up with this because, you know, if I go somewhere else, it could be a lot more. You know, it's very fear-based thinking, isn't it? And some of you may be in that kind of, oh, you know, I'm in this place, I'm in this space. Okay, it's not great, it's not the best. So that could be, again, school, college, work situation. This could even be a relationship, you know. Maybe for some of you, it could be the person kind of gaslighting you or making you feel that you can't go on and be with someone else. Maybe you've been dragged down so much, but there's so much fire within you. There's so much fiery energy here in a positive way. And this is calling to whatever the situation is to bring up that your fiery energy, in an assertive way, not in an aggressive way. Set your boundaries. Speak your truth. Live through your truth. Don't live in fear. Okay, very much, with the devil card and the devil, they want you to live in fear, don't they? And that prevents you from moving on to better and brighter things or being your wonderful self. Okay, it's kind of imprisoning you. And for some of you, it may be not, especially if you've been for a tough time, it could be your own thoughts imprisoning yourself, sabotaging yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be other people. We're all guilty of kind of putting ourselves down and bullying ourselves, and so it's like, get out of that, whatever the situation is. You're not in a prison. You're not. It's all an illusion. Okay, you can completely change your circumstances. All right, it may not always be easy, and there will be challenges, but there's something so much brighter and more beautiful and better on the other side. Okay, so forget that. Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. No, you could meet several devils, okay, wherever you go, but there's always going to be those people. But the flip side is there's always going to be a larger amount of wonderful experiences and wonderful people and good people. Okay, so don't miss out on all these good people because you're scared of the other devils that you might meet. That's life. There's always going to be that sector of people that are going to try and dim your light wherever you go. So yeah, this is about not walking in fear. I'm seeing here. Walk in truth, walk in love, walk in light, or walk in with confidence. You walk in as the high priestess that you are. Okay, that's very much what I'm getting there. Let's go into the 9 of Cups, and there we go. Fulfillment, wish fulfillment, contentment, emotional satisfaction, and that's just, it looks like a dove to me. It could be a seagull, but contentment and peace, and just look at these colors and the sparkle, and you're living within what you wanted. It's there. It's just there. It's just a reach away. You can grab it and grasp it and feel it. It's yours for the taking. Sounds a bit much, doesn't it? But it's yours. It's there if you want it. Okay, so step past this fear. Step past these people who are trying to hold you back, whether it's family or friends or a partner or whatever it is. You know the truth. And for those of you who've perhaps been stifled a bit lately through other people, stand up, okay? This is just there waiting for you. Let me see what else I can see as I'm tuning in. I don't know why I'm seeing a fun fair. It's like a fun fair, and there's candy floss, and there's having a good time, and there's all those rides. And I suppose life is a bit like a fun fair at times, isn't it? Some rides you get on and they're not so much fun, and you think, well, I'm not going on them again, but they're an experience. And other rides, you're having the best time, and it's a whole mixture, isn't it? Of different things going on, and you might see some people that look a bit odd and a bit scary, but then you see other people that are enjoying themselves, and you might smile at, and you just, it's a whole mixed bag, isn't it? Life can be a bit like a circus, can't it, when you think about it? But this is just like, they want you to get out there and to get in the mix and to try different things, no matter what. Don't let that fear hold you back, because in between those moments that can be a little bit not so great, there's so many magical moments. Okay, So let go of that anxiety or that fear, if any of you are experiencing that. Let me see what else I can pick up. It's such a beautiful card and energy. Okay, we're going to the next one. And we have the Six of Wands. Victory, success, public recognition, you know, all that kind of thing going on. Overcoming challenges. There we go. So you've overcome those challenges. This is you. Sitting up there, high on your horse, all right? You've faced your fears. You've spoken your truth. You've left. It's like he is walking away, head held high, victorious, you know, that beautiful white horse there. And this, I'm sensing, is you. You in this new energy, this new found confidence, and you're in this like goddess, priestess energy. Okay, so this is fantastic. Kind of, you got through those fears, you've faced those fears, you've trodden on them, you've said no, I'm living my truth, and here you are. I'm just like in awe of this card and this, and you're always protected, as you see here. I'm being drawn into the armor. You will always be protected. Obviously, do your own protection, your protection bubbles and your protection salt baths, or you know, all those kind of things, or carry your favorite protective crystal, but you'll always be protected by kind of a higher energy. I can see that around you. You're more powerful, getting into the priestess again, than you know. Okay, you can, although you may not feel like it at times, you're more powerful than you know, and that's just so beautiful. And I'm seeing a little dog as well, so, or a big dog. Some of you may have a big dog, so I think that you know, some of you got like if it's not a literal animal, you've got a spirit animal that walks with you, you know, on your path, which often many spiritual people do have these strong spiritual animals that walk with them. So this is fantastic. And I'm seeing here, and I'm being drawn to the light at the end of these staffs, I suppose you'd call them. And I'm seeing all these different sort of opportunities and doors that have been opened because you've left that fear and you've gone on to pastures new, you know. You've ignored what others have said when they tried to hold you back or drag you back, or maybe it is you've had to deal with something and you're victorious in that. Okay, so although it may not feel like it now, this is definitely the energy that you are going to be in, and you're going to feel a million times better, even though it may not feel like it in the moment, or whether that's months or years you may have been going through certain things. This is the positive outcome that's going to be coming. Okay, I'm just seeing the word new job. So for some of you, it could be a new job or new, you know, completely new direction you'd never thought about before. Some of you may be finding you're going to different jobs and you're just like, you feel like you should be doing that job, and you've got the bills to pay, you've got that to pay, but I feel that, you know, for some of you it may be a completely different career change, but whatever it is, it could be a new move or a new relationship, it could be all of those things, but whatever it is, this is you victorious, happy, confident, okay, and joyous. Your next card is the Wheel of Fortune. Well, there you go. Destiny, cycles, good fortune, turning points, new opportunities. We're talking about like a new job. So that's marvelous. That's kind of like a confirmation of what I was just talking about. And again, this Egyptian, I don't know if it's male or female, it doesn't really matter, but I feel like this sense of control of your own destiny, like you're steering your own destiny. If you're not already, that's what it's saying. Take hold of that steering wheel. You're in control of your own ship, of your own car, or whichever way you want to think about it. You are the master of your life. Don't let others predict And I'm doing a reading and kind of doing that, but you know, don't let others around you try and pull you down or stop you from doing things or changing things for their own kind of sneaky needs and wants, okay? Because see, there's a lot of that perhaps you've experienced throughout your life, people trying to hold you back from shining and succeeding, and all those kinds of things. And I'm being drawn so much into this area here, and I think in here with this, where the base is, it's kind of your sacral, actually. Your sacral. And I want you to do some cleansing on all of your chakras, but particularly your sacral area, and perhaps some grounding. Maybe there's a lot of stuff from the past that you've been carrying, so grounding, but clearing that base chakra, okay? And you'll really feel a bit lighter and brighter once you've done that, and that's like salt baths and saging, and or mantras and prayers, or even kind of listening to healing music, or swimming out in nature, you know, all that kinds of things. But the sun is coming, if it hasn't already. The sun is coming, and you're the one steering this yourself to this beautiful destiny and this beautiful life. It's there for the taking. It's there for you. It's just waiting, okay? And then we go into the Strength card, and this, it always reminds me of when I see this lion, Narnia. Is it The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? I can't remember what all the films are called, or were they all called different things. So courage and overcoming challenges, and this is what we've been talking about, because it's highly likely that it could be a challenge, but people, if you stay in those situations, people are going to be constantly challenging you with negative stuff anyway, okay? So initially it might feel quite difficult and challenging to move on to those pastures new, relationships, jobs, home, whatever it is, but it's so worth it for the positive outcomes, okay? So this is you. Again, I'm feeling this kind of priestess, divine, feminine energy and strength. And it's like, sometimes people might see you as a bit wishy-washy or a bit of a pushover because you're kind. And I'm seeing, you know, don't take my kindness to my weakness. Because you've got a roar, you definitely have got a roar, but I think that you're wanting to, if you're not handling it in the best way, which I feel that you are, you're not wanting to lower yourself to standards of shouting or arguing, or it's about not saying anything in a nasty way, but doing things through the proper channels, or walking away if you can't do anything about it is the best thing to do. You can still speak your truth, but you can say it without shouting or swearing or spitting venom, so to speak, or being aggressive. You know, I see you more as the kind of at the stage where you've mastered, you are the priestess, you know. You can control your anger and but you're very powerful. Don't get me wrong, if you wanted to, you could kind of not destroy someone, but you could, you know, but you're choosing kindness, and you're choosing dignity, and you're choosing love, and you're choosing to be the better person and deal with it in a better way than, you know, the way others are treating you. Okay, but this is you, you know, after sitting in, again, this golden love and this golden light, and sitting there, and we was talking about having a strong animal, spirit animal, but again, it may be in the physical sense that you have an animal, if it's a dog or a cat, you know, it doesn't have to be a lion. I don't think many people have lions sitting at home, but you may have a cat that has the courage and strength, and a meow of the lion. But yeah, I keep seeing the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. It's also, that may be kind of significant for some of you. I can't really think of the story of that. I know it's a family, isn't it, that go into the wardrobe? So it could be something to do with some of you dealing with kind of family issues there. but this is you. It's kind of victorious, but in a kind of not demure, that's the wrong word, in a confident way. You're kind of looking as if it's in the distance now. I feel this is where you're gonna be. You're looking there in the distance. That's behind you, and you're sitting there confident, happy, and happy at the way you've dealt with it as well. And I'm really proud of the way you've dealt with it, or you're gonna deal with it. Okay. There we have the Six of Pentacles. Generosity, balance, giving, receiving, financial security, and abundance. Okay, so I don't want you to, if you are worrying, I don't want you to worry about anything financially, because you might be thinking, well, if I change jobs, if I'm moving house, or, leaving this partner, or whatever it is, you may be worrying about those financial aspects, but that's coming with all this change. With speaking your truth, with living your truth, with going for what you actually want, you're going to have this abundance coming in, and that it often is, financial security, but there will be abundance of love and abundance of friends and a community, and you've got these hands here. So I also see you giving, you're still giving support, and I see you in a leadership priestess, mentorship type. You are a leader, but you're giving to others still, and they're giving back to you. So it is that co-creating, if you like, but they're the ones kind of looking up for you. They're looking up to you. They're kind of proud at your confidence, and they're, she's got it. She's kind, she's truthful, she's generous. This is not people on the kind of beg kind of thing. This is you're wanting to give. You're wanting to, whether that's your time, your energy, your cooking for people, spending time with new friends, or just silly little things, helping a neighbour put bins. It could be a whole plethora of things, or you've landed this huge job that you love, and now you're the one who gets to make the decisions, or you've become self-employed, so you are earning your own money, and to begin with it may be a little bit difficult, but it builds up through community and this give and take and connecting. But I love this. I absolutely love this for you. Okay, we have the King of Swords. Logical, sound judgment, decisions, truth. Again, it's truth. Powerful leader, we're just talking about that, and intelligent, very intelligent. And I feel that this could be someone coming in new for some of you. It could be a new partner, it could be a family member coming in and joining you on your this pathway, but a huge part of this, I feel that it is your own strength. And this is you. You're the king of your own castle. You make the rules. You make the decisions. They're always within fairness and kindness, but so much strength too. So much strength. And the sword, again, it's just cutting through, straight through any BS, and again, it's boundaries. No more shall anyone, well, I'm not saying people won't try and cross your boundaries, because that's impossible. Again, you'd have to hide yourself away forever, but you're not allowing it. You're standing firm in your truth, and there's a huge amount of success and pride, and other people within the community are really impressed at that. It's kind of going to get it around in a good way. Your achievements, and if you are like mentoring or mentorship or in that kind of role, which could be groups that you're running, it could be at a local church, it could be online, you know, it could be all kinds of ways. There's definitely going to be this newfound sense of, not that you wasn't courageous already, but it's like even more courageous, and people are going to really look up to you. I really see that, and I'm just going to tune in more to this card. And I just feel that whatever challenges do come your way, it's almost going to be like water off a duck's back, you know. There's definitely a thicker skin has been built, you know, and there's more armor. You still kept your loving side and your truthful side, but you've just been, it's almost like you've been through so much that nothing could really like phase you now. Those ones that perhaps bothered you before, you know, in the past, that were trying to bring you down or prevent you from shining and being your wonderful self, they're just, you know, you could still be this magical, beautiful spiritual priestess, but you also got this side there. But again, it could be literally, for some of you, someone coming in. This could be a new partner, a new partnership. It could be working partnership, it could be relationship, but they're also very intelligent and rational, and will help you with any kind of rational decision making that you need. Or it could be like, I'm seeing the word like business. It could be a business partnership as well for some of you. Again, that could be male or female. It doesn't matter, because we've all kind of got that energy. But I'm just seeing kind of these different aspects, versions of this that are coming in. Obviously, it's a general reading here. Yeah, so much confidence, so much strength. It's almost like I wouldn't even bother trying this person, you know. I wouldn't even bother trying to take the P across the path, or you know, look at how strong he is. So yeah, so that's amazing. That is an absolutely amazing reading. So and there's so many facets to you, you know, like this softer side, this spiritual side, but then this strength, you know. It's yeah, mine's a little bit blown there. Right, let's get on to your ribbon reading. This beautiful yellow ribbon here. It looks a bit darker in person than it does on the camera. Okay. So this, again, we've had so much yellow I've been focused in and drawn into, in gold. And for this, I'm seeing and associating with the solar plexus. Okay. And there could be some cleansing to be done there, but that just, for me, I see your solar plexus energy just bursting through. There's so much strength there, so much strength. And I see so much protection around you. I'm seeing this golden aura around you, okay, like pretty much like we're seeing in these pictures here, the golden light. You know, you're completely protected. So don't have any fears, even if you're in a space where you're living too much in fear. You know, you've got the courage, you've got the strength, you've got all these things. You know, you could damn well do it. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Let yourself rule. Stand up, be seen, be heard, be, you know, in an assertive, positive way, obviously, nothing negative that's going to get you in trouble, but speak your truth. Again, that's just being reiterated, repeated over and over there, I can see. And this is quite specific, but I'm seeing Easter time, and it's often yellow bows, isn't it? So that could be, Easter's April, isn't it? So this is a timeless reading, but if you're listening to this and it's around kind of Easter time, but fresh new beginnings and new hatchings and new ideas. I'm seeing the eggs opening up, you know, and blooming forth. I'm also seeing the little chicks. So for some of you, you know, you may be starting a family in this new relationship, but it's very much about rebirth and renewal here, I'm seeing. Yeah, and Easter. What's going on in Easter time? Some of you may be, it might be significant, this sort of anniversary, it could be wedding, birthday. Some of you may be getting married or engaged, but that's very, very significant. But for me, like, it's like everything is fresh and new again, you know, and everything's blooming, and you'll probably feel that yourself is, you're blooming again and you're renewing. Yeah, it's very much what I'm seeing there. Right, before I end this reading, I'm just going to see if I pick up any more. Yeah, definitely the solar plexus. I want you to do some cleansing. Obviously you don't have to, but it would be nice if you could do that. I think that would be really helpful on your kind of your spiritual journey there, and enhancing your spiritual abilities, okay, and letting that come forth. So do a lot of that. Maybe you need a bit of sun, some of you. I know that's not always possible, but if you can get out even for kind of 10 minutes a day, if you work a lot from home, or sit near a window, you know, try and get a bit of fresh air. But anyway, I'm seeing so much gold light around you, so much love, so much protection, and I'm just excited. I feel like this buzzy, exciting energy for your future. Okay, so pile number 2, that's your reading, and I surround it and you with so much love, light and blessings, and I'll see you in the next reading. Okay, and welcome, beautiful pile number 3. Let's lay your cards out. Excuse any noise that you may hear. I'm under a huge oak tree, so it's the acorns just landing on the roof, so you can get a bit noisy, but I'm in the beautiful Welsh countryside, and I have like sheep around, and there's chickens, and there's little Miss Piggy up on the way. Truly is beautiful. So anyway, enough about me. You got the Page of Wands, wonderful. The Wheel of Fortune, Temperance, have the Judgment card. Can you see those okay there? Have the 5 of Cups, the 7 of Cups. Probably gonna have to move that up a bit. Squeeze them in. We see that now. There we go. Have, oh, beautiful 3 of Cups. We're forever aligning, straightening our cards, aren't we? And we have, oh, the 10 of Cups. Lovely. We have Ace of Cups. Lovely. And we have the 6 of Cups. Wonderful. Okay, again, as I said in pile number 1, I'm a spiritualist medium, so I mainly do readings kind of from photos and objects, but I also love tarot. And if you've never heard of it before, it's a very old practice, hundreds of years old, if not more, ribbon reading. So we'll get on to your little ribbon reading at the end. It's like a beautiful, beautiful green. Okay, sorry about a little pause there. Just having a little moment. Sometimes I get that when I just completely tune in, and then I forget, oh, actually I'm being filmed. I'm filming here, so you know, crack on with it. Anyway, I'm just going to go over the kind of basic meanings of the cards, of the tarot cards. But again, I'll say to anyone, if you are practicing learning tarot, try not to focus too much just on the literal meaning, because when you do that, it kind of blocks out the flow. So it's a good tip there, you know, also just lose yourself in the picture, or like I did a moment ago, and you can see often images that I do, or hear things, or feel things even. So that's just a top tip there. So we have the beautiful Page of Wands, and that is new beginnings. And in sorry, whacking the camera. Try to remember not to move so much. So that's new beginnings and enthusiasm and creativity, and this could also be involved in messages coming in, and embracing adventures and the new. And then the Wheel of Fortune, it's like a fate card, and normally it's to do with good luck and destiny and turning points, and life in motion and all those kinds of things, and life cycles, and definitely opportunities for me with the Wheel of Fortune that I think of. And Temperance, the major arcana card, harmony and balance and patience and healing after challenges. It's definitely a call for all those things. The Judgment card, okay, so this is awakening and transformation, or answering kind of a higher calling in life, or again a turning point, releasing of the past, and again stepping into a new chapter. Then we go into the Five of Cups, and this can be loss or disappointment and sadness, and focusing too much on what's not going right, rather than focusing on healing and hope. Seven of Cups, choices and illusions and temptations and confusion, or daydreaming, or wishful thinking, or several different opportunities and not quite knowing and not quite going in a direction, because you're almost a bit stuck on not knowing what choices, what to do. It can be a bit of and as I'm sensing now, a bit wishy-washy is what I go with on that one. Three of Cups, love. Should I have favorite cards? So joy, friendship, community, celebration, and happiness. Love this card, and I love that we have this belly dancer here. I wish I could belly dance. I'm not very good. Have tried, but this is kind of, she's pouring up, she's filling up this cup, and she's moving. It's all about movement, and all these fruit bowls there. They're kind of. It's just a celebration, and as I'm kind of getting stuck, because it's just so much joy that comes with this. The Three of Cups is just such a joyful card, and friendship, community, celebration. And then again we go into the Ten of Cups, which is another very positive card, harmony, happiness and fulfillment, and you're happy ever after, really, is what we go with for the Ten of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is new energy and fresh starts and healing and peace and gratitude. And again, it's just overflowing there with gratitude. And then we go on to the Six of Cups, which is like childhood and nostalgia and memories, and finding solace in places that bring back those lovely memories. And it could be connected to little ones around you that bring such joy and happiness in your life. Right, okay, so now we've gone over those sort of basic meaning of the cards. I'm going to tune in to each card. Hopefully I've got everything in shot, and I'll see what I pick up here. Okay, so we have the beautiful Page of Wands. And new beginnings and new fresh starts. It almost reminds me here, as I'm looking in, as The Wizard of Oz, that the recent film. I don't know if you've seen that, or any of the wizards, or any, sorry, I can't speak, lost my speech, any of the Wizard of Oz films. I've lost my power of speech today, that's quite funny. So yeah, this feels a very, very magical card. As I'm looking in here, I'm being drawn into these moons there, and I'm seeing the word cycles. So I feel that there's been many difficult cycles and periods in your life, and I'm seeing the word health. And I know this is a general reading, but I think for some of you, your health may have taken, or it could be someone close to you, but this is what I'm feeling is quite significant, like a turn in their health. But this is a new cycle, and this is a new energy and renewal, and things are on the up. I'm sorry, there's a farm, I'm on a farm, so you can get all kinds of noises and the animals and everything, which I love, but if you hear anything, you know what that is. And the acorns also, that I'm under a big acorn tree. So I may be repeating myself here, but just in case. And the rain, the beautiful rain. And as that rain pours down, again, that's kind of washing away the old for me. Yeah, and so I feel that there's been difficult cycles, but here, this rainbow, I'm being drawn in. It's kind of, we want to draw you into this moment and this space and this light and this freshness and these new beginnings, okay? For some of you, it may not be health related. It could be kind of, loss of a job, or, loss of a relationship, and you've been feeling particularly down about it, but this is kind of bringing such a magical and happy element, and a new world, if you like, and a new you. Let me just focus a bit more and see what I pick up on. Yeah, I'm seeing the sentences, there'll be many moons, there'll be many sunrises, there'll be many more sunsets to come, and many more beautiful moments to come. And I see that this is wiping away the darkness, okay? I'm feeling, a bit sad. Although this is a positive card, I feel that you have been through such a difficult time. And there may have been losses. I'm seeing the word bereavement. So, that could be literal bereavement of someone passing away. So I send out lots of love and healing to those if that is the case. But grieving can also take place, in other forms, ending of relationships or a career, or the children have grown up and left home. There's all types of grieving, and some of you, it may not be a person, it may be a beloved pet, okay? But I definitely feel it could be for those reasons that your health was further affected. So it doesn't always have to be physical health, it could be mental health, it could be both. But bright new blessings, if they haven't started already, are on their way, okay? And I'm seeing GP, which means general practitioner, in the UK. So it's making sure that you go for your health checkups, and you make sure you're going to the dentist, and having all those things looked after. And if you're not getting on with a particular GP or doctor, you can change. You can always change to another one. There's always someone out there who will help you on your health journey, whether that's physical health, mental health, or both. And also, if there's bereavement, some type of counselling, whether that's professional counselling or just talking to friends can help, or community groups where people have been through the same kind of things. But I'm just feeling there's there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's just so much brightness and love coming in with this card for you, okay? So I just want you to know that. Okay, let's go on to the Wheel of Fortune. So, turning points here I'm seeing, and change. Change is coming. Let me just focus more on this picture. And again, the word new opportunities I'm seeing being spelt out there. And fresh new beginnings. And I don't know why I'm seeing lots of feathers. I know these are not feathers, but I'm seeing feathers. Okay. I'm seeing white feathers. So I'm feeling like there's lots of Actually, when you go in, that one does look a bit like a feather, but I'm seeing white feathers, which for me is, you know, connected to the angels. So I just want to tell you that, you know, if you have lost someone, that they are close by to you. I'm getting a bit emotional talking about it. And you are loved, very, very much loved by them. And they're bringing in lots and lots of beauty and love into your life, and they don't want you to be sad anymore, and they want these new beginnings to come in if they haven't started already, and to you to live your life and for you to be happy. Okay, so I'm seeing these white feathers, and these white feathers are falling, they're falling down, and they're falling all around you, so that brings in lots of angelic energy and protection around you. Okay, so they're not wanting you to worry, they're wanting to take away your worries and lift those burdens. So I say prayer, you don't have to be religious, you can pray to whoever, as long as you know it's in love and light, and give your worries up to the angels, or whoever you believe in, okay, and ask them to take that away, take that heaviness away. But this is, although we're talking about heaviness, I feel that there's so much love and there's so much joy in this card. So again, I bring you that love from the angels and from anyone you may have lost, or they're just bringing in love if you're going through any kind of loss of any kind, okay? But though we're talking about sad topics, there's so much love and joy with this reading. That's beautiful. Okay, we go on to the beautiful Temperance card. So, seeking balance and harmony after a challenging time. So for me, it feels that although it's almost these pots are kind of spilling out, and you know that it's challenging, and it's trying to almost like when you're carrying all the pots and pans back from the kitchen, you know, like there's multiple things going on here for you. Okay, that's what I'm seeing there. Multiple things. And perhaps things have been weighing you down, or you felt that you've been juggling a lot, you know, especially if, say for instance, your mother, you know, and you have the children to look after, and you know, you're cooking the dinner, and perhaps you're going to work as well, and you may be single, you may not have all the help, you know, a huge network, but I see a lot of juggling going on there, balancing. But I feel that there's a lot of pride coming in here from the angels, and whoever it is coming in here, or someone that may have passed away. They're very proud of you, and I'm getting quite emotional when I'm talking about that. It doesn't have to have been recent, it could have been sometimes people grieve for a long time, don't we? But whatever it is, it's new cycles, new beginnings, new you, new energy. Okay. I feel that they're wanting you to kind of have more of a balance, life balance, as in have some more joy for yourself, you know, do some more things for yourself, more self-care. Okay, because we can sometimes get so caught up in everyone else's care that we forget ourselves. You may be a carer for an actual person that has health issues. That's, you know, it's a general reading. There's a possibility. So here they're saying, you know, take time for yourself. When you're no good for anyone else. If you're not actually taking care of yourself, you're going to burn yourself out. All right. So there's lots of healing energy coming in here that I'm seeing, and again we have this beautiful rainbow behind there. Yeah, so make sure that you stop, breathe, go and do something nice, even if it's sitting with a cup of tea and a cake for 30 minutes. Make sure you have that break, you know. I'm seeing a nurse, so some of you may work in the health and social care field, and I want you to also take a break, because that's very hard, isn't it? Especially when you're working those long shifts. But then no one's going to thank you, you know. No one's going to be like, they'll be like, well, you should have taken a break. So make sure you do, all right? Look after yourself as well, not just everyone else. That's what I'm getting there with that card. Okay, try not to disturb all the other cards. And we have Judgment. And again, although it's the Judgment card, we have this huge, beautiful... I always feel like I'm going to a disco there, doesn't it? It always feels like we're somewhere in Las Vegas or something. That's quite specific, but some of you may be going on a trip to America. Okay. Awakening and transformation. Okay. And a turning point again. And releasing the past. So I feel that this is, when I'm looking at it, is a releasing of the past, okay? And walking forward to the brighter new beginnings. It is definitely a turning point. I'm just going to focus a bit more, see what I see. I'm now seeing a beautiful, huge bouquet of flowers. So I feel like it's a thank you again. Whoever this is or whatever this energy is it wants to say thank you. Thank you for your hard work. If others haven't thanked you around you, whether that's a boss or your partner or obviously with your children, you don't expect thanks. It's a lot of work for, just for the love of your children. But we want to thank you too, mothers out there, for all your nurturing and your hard work. And if you're a nurse, we want to thank you for your hard work. I feel this pile is very much the caregivers of the piles, okay? Yeah, so this huge bouquet of beautiful pink flowers. I do have some beautiful pink flowers here, actually. Let's take one out rather than disturbing the ones by the cards. So I just want to give these to you, okay? And if you haven't, I buy myself flowers. Can you see those? I don't actually know what they're called, and that's terrible, isn't it? I know my grandmother used to grow in her garden flowers very similar to this. They smell gorgeous, and just look at that. And pink there, that's just so much love. For me, that represents love. And I purchased these cards myself, for myself, and it just brings me so much joy. So for you, okay, we're giving you a huge bunch of... The ones I see were more roses, but that's fine. We can, which is love. Roses are love. But treat yourself also to a bunch of flowers. That particular bunch was only like £3.50. You don't have to go all out, and sometimes in stores you can get them on sale, can't you? And it's just lovely just to look at them and just to cheer yourself up. So treat yourself. I've seen bath bombs as well, and a hot bath. So it really is encouraging you to take care of yourself on this journey, and thanking you so much. And I'm getting a bit emotional when I'm saying that, but there's so much love coming in with that, okay? You caretakers out there. Ooh. Okay, so the 5 of Cups. So loss again, disappointment. And you may be feeling like that sometimes, and sadness and grief that you've lost, It could be the literal losing someone that you love, or maybe someone sick around you and that's up and coming, but because we all have grandparents or, elderly neighbours and people. We all have people that we love that sadly might not be well, or like parents, if you've lost parents. I've lost mine, and grandmothers. But again, it's like they don't want you to focus on that anymore. They don't want that to be what your life is about. They don't want you to be in that space of loss. And again, this could, as a general reading, be relationships too. They don't want you to be in that space. You're this bright, beautiful, beautiful being, and they want you to live in that energy, and that's what they want for you. And they're bringing in lots of healing, lots and lots of healing for you. And you need to recharge. I'm feeling like I've seen something being plugged in, and you need to recharge yourself and take care of yourself too. All right, it feels like I'm repeating things, but obviously that's really important. Maybe you don't always listen when someone says go and have that break, or maybe you feel you just need to always be on the go and always looking after everyone else, which will affect your health in the long term, and which may have been affecting your health mentally, physically. Yeah, so please, please, please take care of yourself. Let me tune in a bit more and see what I can see. There's so much out there for you. There's so many opportunities. I'm seeing the word opportunities. I'm seeing a horse as well. It might be quite specific for some of you. But spending time with animals, I think, could be very healing for many of you. Maybe you are a huge animal lover, or you feel that you're too busy to have an animal. But I do see a horse there, and you're brushing the horse's mane. You know, it is taking care of another being again, which wasn't what I was encouraging. But I feel spending time with someone else's animals will be extremely healing for you. And being in nature and breathing some fresh air, especially if some of you are in cities, you know, and built up places. If you can get away, even if it's just for the day, but a weekend or longer, even better. But there's so much here about just getting back to basics and very much taking care of yourself. And I'm seeing a cat too. So some of you may have a cat friend around. I have two of my own are kind of snuggled up there in the bedroom. But that can be very healing. Cats are particularly healing as well. Maybe you've been thinking about getting a little friend, and cats are a lot easier than a dog, say, if you're at work all day. Cats are quite independent, aren't they? But they're still beautiful and lovely to have around for that friendship and that comfort and that peace. Or maybe, as I was talking about losses, some of you have lost those particular pets. And again, with those angels and with those loved ones coming in, we'll be bringing love from those too, okay? Right, so the Seven of Cups, wishful thinking. There's nothing wrong with that. Although this card is kind of like, we got all these different things going on, you know, and choices, and maybe you're daydreaming, or, you know, but that's not always necessarily a bad thing, you know. Or her, she looks quite stressed, doesn't she? She's kind of daydreaming. Maybe she's daydreaming that she can go and have a break, or she can have a spa day, or she can just get out of this situation, okay? That's what I'm feeling. So I'm not actually feeling like a negative energy with this card as I'm looking at it. Okay. Wishful thinking. I'm being very drawn to the wishful thinking and the daydreaming. So maybe you do kind of feel like you want to escape, you know, and you really do want to get away from whether that's, you know, a situation or your own thoughts even. So I do suggest again, if you haven't already, to reach out to a GP or someone and make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because otherwise you are going to burn out and you are going to be overwhelmed, and you may not have the opportunity to do these things, or to narrow it down to one or two. And then show me you breaking it down into smaller bite-sized pieces, okay? Taking one thing at a time, because otherwise you're overwhelming yourself so much. Maybe if some of you have got, say for instance, ADHD, you can't focus because you've got too many things going on in your head, so you're here, there and everywhere. Or maybe you have so many responsibilities, you're here, there and everywhere, and I feel it's very much burning you out, okay? So break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. Write it out. Piece of paper. Write out what's worrying you. Get that out of your head for a start. And just small tasks, whether it's the house is a mess and you want to organize it, you want to clean it. Just one room at a time. Just focus on one room at a time and write everything down that you'd like to do within that room, whether it's clear out the clothes, and then tick it off as you go along. And if you're feeling a bit worn out that day, you don't have to finish it all in one day, but try not to go on to too many different things before you get the other thing done. Setting alarms is quite handy as well. Some of us need reminding that we need to do things. I mean, there's some fantastic apps that you can get that can help you remember to do things and to get more organized. So it's worth researching and looking into those. But I'm being 1 foot in front of the other. So, and again, one day at a time. All right, one day at a time is really being iterated here to me. And I know it's a cheesy saying, but Rome was not built in a day. It kind of reminds me of the headpieces that they would have worn in Roman times. So break it down. And sometimes you may have to admit to yourself you need help with things, whether that's support, extra support with the children, or extra support at work, or extra training, or grief counselling, or we all need help. And as I said, I think it was the last reading, there's no shame in asking and reaching out. Again, self-care is really being reiterated here. I really want you to take a moment each day to take care of yourself and make sure that you're eating properly and you're drinking properly, or even going to the toilet, especially if you're a carer or a nurse, or a mum and you've got a little one. We often, we forget ourselves, all right? And we don't, if you haven't already burnt out, we want to avoid that. So again, break it down or pass it on to someone else. If there's something that someone else can do, whether you get a cleaner in or there's a certain aspect of your job that you feel that you've got so much that they've given you, perhaps someone else can take on some of those roles and responsibilities. Maybe you could cut down your hours, is also something I'm seeing here, and take up another role that may pay a bit less, but it will give you a bit more joy, because I definitely feel this is the busy give pile here. Okay. And here we go. 3 of Cups, joy, friendship, celebration, community, happiness. And this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing is achievable once we organize yourself a bit more, perhaps delegate tasks a bit more, get the support in, start taking care of ourselves. And look at her there. She's kind of, she's definitely got her mojo back. Perhaps if you've let go of that as well, I'm seeing you could be male or female, it doesn't matter, but you've perhaps not been able to take care of yourself as much, do your hair, or, some of us don't even get time to brush it when we get little ones. So it's that importance of self-care. And here you can see she's definitely taking care of herself, and there's movement in her body. So a little bit of exercise each day definitely helps with your mental health. Dance is so therapeutic. I can highly recommend that. You don't even have to be a good dancer. You don't even have to leave the house. 10 to 15 minutes a day does wonders, and that gets those chakras kind of activating and opening. That really helps to movement, really helps to sort of cleanse your body, and it's fabulous. And a bit of music. Maybe you've not been listening to music that you like. That's also, I'm hearing music in the background, and the food here, eating lots of food and healthy snacks and just nourishing, so lots of water. So this is where I see the place that you'll be at. This is achievable. If you're not already beginning this journey, or you're thinking about beginning this journey, it doesn't have to be a huge thing like signing up to the gym or suddenly eating salad every day. It's just those small achievable steps, but that will get you to this place. I'm definitely seeing a lot of dancing and a lot of celebration. So I also feel that when these changes are in place, you're taking care of yourself, you're more organised, you're doing those small steps, that there's kind of this dance, it could be a literal, a party or a wedding or an engagement, but I see the word new opportunities coming in. Yeah, and I think for some of you, it could be quite a drastic change in your life. It could be career-wise or partnership-wise, or just in your appearance. Yeah, your mental health. You're definitely going to be lighter and much brighter. And they want to see you having fun and enjoying yourself again. I really don't feel that this power has had much joy. And for some of you, like your divine feminine and your feminine energy, it may be you've not been feeling particularly attractive or sexy, or doesn't mean you're not, it just could be you felt so bogged down in everything else. It's about get your sexy back as well. Your sexiness as well is definitely coming back. Or if to put that into action, okay, and not forget that you are this divine, beautiful being, okay. And the Ten of Cups. I love this. So this is happiness and harmony and fulfillment. And here we have a family. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know, you're coupled up. It could be just you and your cat, and you can still be happy and with all your friends. But this is a celebration. I'm seeing the word wedding, actually. So some of you may be getting engaged or just got married. I definitely see that on the cards. But it's like whoever is coming in from the past or passed over, he's bringing in this, raising a glass. I'm seeing someone raising a glass of champagne. So they're definitely celebrating some fabulous news and a fabulous new you. So this new you and this new energy is opening these doorways. And maybe here as the mother, you've been feeling, you know, for those that are mothers, if you have little ones, that you've been feeling really bogged down, you know, and not really feeling like celebrating motherhood. Sometimes it's not always what we think it's going to be, you know, especially if it's our first child. It can be particularly difficult. But here I see harmony and help and a lovely partnership. So for some of you, if you're in a partnership with someone, maybe you haven't been open with them about how you've been feeling, but do be open about how you're feeling. There's no shame in that. And again, if mental health, perhaps talking to your GP, because many of us suffer from postnatal depression after having little ones. But whatever it is, this is just bringing so much joy and happiness, okay? And you will get to being back into that space. They're definitely showing your fitness will improve, and you will get that joy back again that perhaps you feel that you've lost. And I'm seeing the word mojo again, so I definitely feel that you will be getting back that mojo and that, you know, a new you with parts of the old you, but it's definitely a new you. We don't go back, do we? We're forever evolving into a new, better version of ourselves. But there's so much to look forward to here. I just want to focus a bit more, see what images come up. I'm seeing like a yacht. It's like in the, you know, somewhere abroad and it's sunny. So there could be like a family holiday coming up, or that you need a family holiday, and just to go and have a wonderful time. Or if it is the wedding, there could be a wedding abroad, or like the honeymoon. But yeah, there's so much joy with this card, and I want you to remember, you know, anything that's difficult, it's temporary, okay? It's not forever, as much as it can feel like at the time. So I just want to surround this with so much love and healing for you here. And that card, if you've been feeling kind of bogged down, there is so much joy to come. Okay, new energy, fresh start, healing, peace, growth. And that's what I've been talking about. So that's absolutely perfect. Overflowing with joy, you know, overflowing with energy, and these tropical, you know, these turquoise waters I'm being drawn into. So if you don't live by the sea, I can see some of you going to the seaside or going on holiday. I'm seeing an aeroplane as well. Remember, it's a general reading, so it's not going to be exact for everyone. But I'm seeing the words, renewal and rebirth, like quite literally. Because some of you may be having a baby with the word birth there, but it feels more about you in a sense of rebirth and renewal and clearing of the old, clearing that all away, and much, much abundant, happier times. So that'd be interesting. Let me know in the comments if any of you are wanting to go on holiday and trying to organise it, or do end up booking a holiday from this reading and taking care of yourself more. You know, put that in the comments. And even if you need a little bit of support, there's always other people that you can kind of support each other. And it may be worth me at some point setting up a group. I thought about a support group for people who are feeling like in these spaces, and you can support each other through that. But I'm seeing here there's like a group of you going. So I don't, some of you may be going on your own and then meeting people out there, but I feel like it's a group of you going, and like a family kind of holiday or getaway. Maybe you're going off to see your family if they live further afield. But there's so much renewal with this card, and peace, and just in a place perhaps you thought that you wouldn't be again. But it's even better this time, you know. It's sometimes when we go through those awful times, it's about evolution, isn't it? It's about like with the caterpillar. It's kind of when it's in its cocoon, it actually kind of dissolves into a liquid, and then it just blossoms into something even more amazing, you know, than it was before. It was amazing caterpillar liquid, and then it just burst into this, just when you thought it couldn't become even more beautiful. So I'm seeing the butterfly. Sorry, that's my stomach there. And I see you as the butterfly, okay? So please hold on to that and take that and keep that with you if you're finding it difficult. Visualize yourself changing. Visualize what you want. You know, manifest that for yourself. I'm now seeing a journal, so write down, you know, get off of your chest feelings, but also manifest and make wishes, and perhaps a bit of moon meditation as well. It's a good idea. Yeah, it's powerful, the moon. There we go. Then we have the Six of Cups. And for me, I mean, this is about nostalgia and finding solace in things that you perhaps enjoyed, and memories of childhood. So it could be like going back to a beach that you used to go to as kids. You know, maybe you used to go quite regular. Maybe it's going back to that particular beach or another beach and just reliving those moments with your family. Because sometimes with children, we've got little ones who think, oh, I can't, and by the time I packed up this and it's too stressful. But go along, forget all that, have the stress, have the sand between your toes and in your sandwiches, and put up with them, perhaps the odd cry or scream in the car, because it's so worth it once you get there and you have that wonderful day as a family. So I'm seeing like in this holiday, you may be worrying a bit about this up and coming holiday and you've got the children. It's just like, no, let those worries go. There's no point worrying about what's going to happen, or if they're going to have a tantrum there, or if you're a single person, you're worried about going alone, you know, you're not going to meet anyone, you know, strangers always talk to you. I go out on my own quite often, and people will come up, or I'll strike up a conversation. It can be a little difficult at first, but this is just bringing in, again, this card for me is joy. I'm just going to tune in a bit more. You may be a grandparent, so it could be being around your grandchildren. You could have animals that you feel are your children. And I'm seeing the word hobbies as well. So is this something that you put down? You know, years ago, maybe you were an artist, or maybe you played a particular sport. Again, that's a self-care practice. So bringing that back into your life, you know, or finding a new hobby, completely new hobby. But it's nostalgic. I'm now seeing like a rhubarb crumble and an apple crumble. So there could be certain foods that bring you comfort. This card just brings me comfort and joy and family and community, and yeah, there's so much love filled in with this card, and I'm being drawn into the kite here. So, you know, it's flying high, it's flying, you know, into happy times and new ventures and a new you. And again, the word mojo coming back. And here we see the flowers. I'm being drawn into the flowers in the cup. So I just want to end this reading on, you know, love yourself, take care of yourself, buy yourself those beautiful bunch of flowers. Life is going to throw these little spanners in the work, and sometimes it is going to be stressful, but that's not every day. That's not every year. That's not every month. You know, in between that, there was so much love, so much happiness, and so many good times. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Pile number 2. I'm not going to end your reading there. I have this beautiful green ribbon to do your reading on, to end the reading. Okay, so let me just tune into this and feel this ribbon. And again, green and pastures new and new beginnings and a fresh new start. And this is your heart green, your heart chakra. Okay, so some of you may have been having a very, very heavy heart, especially when we talked about the grief and loss. So this is letting go. Maybe you've been hurt in love. So it's opening your heart up again to love and new love opportunities and allowing that to come in. You may have to do some meditation or some salt baths. You can put salt into your baths to help to cleanse, and just visualize your chakras opening and cleansing there. Okay, you can visualize a golden light or some green beautiful light, but I'm being shown countryside again, and pastures new and new places. So to get out into the countryside or going away on that holiday that you thought about is such a fantastic idea. You can get holidays that you can pay off for, like monthly, so that'll give you something to look forward to at the end of the year. It doesn't have to be something really expensive. So for some of you perhaps haven't got, lots of money, that's something worth thinking about doing. You can go along to a travel agent and they'll always find you something at a reasonable price, and you can pay it off bit by bit, and that's a wonderful thing to have at the end of the year, to know after all your hard work and everything you've been doing, taking care of everyone else, that you're going to have this fantastic holiday. So this for me is lots and lots of healing, and again, you're being given flowers. Okay, so that just seems such an important, significant thing. Go and get yourself those bunch of flowers if someone hasn't already purchased them for you. Okay, beautiful. Pile number 3. That's your reading, and I want to fill it with so much love, so much light, and so many blessings. You are completely loved, and the universe is grateful for all your hard work and all the love that you put back out into the universe too. Okay, lots of love and God bless, and I'll see you in the next reading.